Good morning, everybody. Welcome to my weekly Scripture for Thought video show. My topic sermon that I'm going to preach to you about is about when receiving much generosity, much gratitude must be received. Throughout time and space and time, God has given us good foods for us to eat, and we have to give gratitude to God because God made everything. My first example is King Hezekiah. Of course, King Hezekiah was a faithful king of Judah. He did all the right things of worshiping God the right way, and he brought the people of Judah to worship God in the right way. And he held a feast of the communion with food, with drinks, with offerings and stuff to God. And God was very pleased with King Hezekiah. Another example is what generosity is received, gratitude is given. Is an example of Jesus feeding the 5,000 people. It's an example of Jesus feeding the 5,000 people in the Sea of Tiberias. Of course, the people were skeptical. They said, "Wow, this is a nice, generous God. Could he be the Messiah?" Then Jesus said, "Come, listen to me. Don't ask any more further questions. Just listen to me while I feed you this food, and then you'll be blessed." After he fed them the food and gave thanks to God, then him and his family, then Jesus and his multitude of 5,000 people was thankful, and it was giving gratitude to God. Another example of what generosity is received and what gratitude is given is Daniel. Of course, Daniel was one of the great prophets of the Bible. He asked the king's guards to have everybody to a certain diet. Then they listened to Daniel, and look what happened. They had everybody on a certain amount of diet of fruits, of vegetables and stuff, and everybody came out more nourished than the men that had ate meat and beef and pork and fish. Another example of what generosity is received, the gratitude is given, is Jesus. After he was resurrected from the dead, then Jesus and then Peter and his disciples, they was far off in the fish. They went out to fish for fish, but they couldn't find nothing, not a single fish to attract, until Jesus came up in the sea and said, "Hey, my friend, have you any fish?" And then Peter and his friends said, we fished all day, we couldn't find nothing. And then Jesus said, "Put a little fit from the Father." Then Peter did a second time with his friends James, Peter, and Andrew. And you wouldn't believe it, they pull up so much a big haul full of fish, 153 big fishes, that they couldn't even hardly pick it up because it was so big amount of fish. And then Jesus said to Peter and to the rest of the disciples, come have lunch with me." And then Jesus had lunch, and then they was fully thankful of what Jesus did. Peter and the disciples was very thankful of the food that Jesus gave them before Jesus reinstated Peter as his right-hand man to lead his ministry after he'd gone back to risen to heaven. Now that's the last point of what generosity is received and what gratitude is given. My people, when you are given food to eat, or when you are given a certain service by a good Samaritan, or a person, or a nice person, or a very thoughtful, kind, considerate person, Do not take it for granted. Just be thankful and just give gratitude to God. And now, to wrap everything up, that sums up everything of my sermon topic of what generosity is received, is what gratitude is given. Now, as for in Alton Avenue and Paulding Avenue and the Williamsbrige part of the Bronx, as for my weekly Scripture for Thought video show, I'm your host of your most self-proclaimed rapper, self-proclaimed R&B singer, public figure visual host, workout fitness visual host, conference call Bible study leader, teacher, preacher, Bible study teacher, Bible study teacher, and Reverend-Material disciple, Anthony Walker say, Papa, I see it, Papa, so long.